Can you hear me? Relax. Everything you are about to experience is important. The clues will be carefully laid out before you. Just follow them. I'll be waiting for you at the water's end.
Jack, can you hear me?
This'll keep him under. You're tired. How do you feel?
Alone.
Do you remember why you're doing this?
To get my life back.
The Earth has renewed its love affair with the Moon. The dark side of the Moon, that is. Soviet space probe Luna 3 has sent back 29 images of the side that nobody's ever seen before. As you may know, while the Earth rotates on its axis, our Moon is stationary and shows only one side toward our planet. It looks as if, once again, Russia is leaping ahead of the U.S. in the space race.
DeWitt needs a case. Find him. Make sure he accepts.
He and I are the same. He won't have a choice.
Who are you?
My name's DeWitt. I'm not in the phone book, wedged between David's carpet cleaners and Dudley's termite removal. My job's a little different. I'm a private investigator. I can find lost kids, catch insurance fraudsters, or track down philandering husbands, just as long as I get paid. I haven't always been a PI, but between the booze, loose broads, and my badge, something had to go. You can probably guess how that played out.
Our forecast for this evening, a storm is brewing to the south. Some rain is expected overnight. Thunderstorms are highly likely throughout the night. Folks, be prepared. This one is on its way.
I heard someone was asking around for me. That's how it normally works. The cases find me. A good-looking dame offering too much cash wants to meet. Seems she lost someone. I happen to like good-looking women and cash. Too bad this feels like a trap. But I find the best way to deal with the trap is to spring it. And see who comes looking.
You're a difficult man to find, Mr. DeWitt.
So how did you find me then?
Women's intuition.
Oh, so it wasn't that difficult.
Perhaps finding you wasn't, but I'm beginning to suspect you are.
Difficult.
Perhaps convoluted is a better word.
No more convoluted than a woman's intuition.
And no more difficult than a man's pride.
We both might have a point, Miss.
Dalton.
Miss Dalton.
It's Mrs.
Sorry to hear that,
Huh. And why should you be sorry?
because married women only want me for 3 reasons. To find their husbands, to follow their husbands, or to murder their husbands. Well, he'd be a fool to be in that second group, and you don't appear to be in the third, so that only leaves the first. Am I close?
Yes, Mr. DeWitt. You're right. My husband has been missing for 3 days, and apparently the police have no interest in finding him. I want to hire you to find him.
What makes you think that I'm interested?
Oh, I can pay you. 4,000. Half now, and half when you find him.
His name's Jack Dalton. He turned 47 last week.
And why does he look so familiar?
Let's just say that he has quite a reputation. This is all that was left on his desk at home.
Perhaps it hadn't occurred to you that maybe he doesn't want to be found.
Perhaps.
So how do I find you?
Well, you're the detective.
I'm sure that you can figure it out.
Unless I find you first.
He's in, and he recognized Jack.
We should be careful. We could awaken sleeping giants.
Well, what do we do now?
You cool your heels. I'm going to lay out a few breadcrumbs.
And if Spade surfaces?
He's driving the boat.
It may have felt like a trap before, but now my gut was telling me it was a full-on setup, with me as the sucker. Jesus, I haven't been sleeping well. I didn't really want the case, but my bad habits don't come cheap. So let's see what we have. I recognize the key. It was from a warehouse downtown. It's a place where you leave that thing for that guy, and he leaves you a fat envelope to forget about it. When a rich guy has too many skeletons in his closet, they upgrade to a warehouse. At this point, I'm just hoping Dalton's skeletons are figurative. Paperwork is a bitch when they're literal. Hello? What have we here? I'd seen a trinket like this before. Knickknacks at a little place called the Eiffel Hotel. A whole unit for one piece of metal? I'm not a piano, but I know when I'm being played. Too bad I'm not a sax. These jokers could blow me instead. I guess I'll keep following where this tripwire leads. The only thing classy about the Eiffel Hotel is the name. It caters to the carnal needs of a less discerning clientele, which may or may not include a certain down-on-his-luck investigator from time to time. The only thing this place can offer a guy with Dalton's money that he can't get anywhere else is a low profile. Enzo Talbot. Owner, operator, scumbag. But he needs money even more than me. He ain't reliable, but he is buyable.
Early 1976.
Empty. Damn. The room should have smelled like good lovin' from a bad woman. But nothing had happened here for a while. The air was stale, and the bed was made. Maybe I could turn something up. Hello, handsome. Jesus, I haven't been sleeping well.
Can you hear me?
I'm running out of clues. Maybe I can get somewhere with this number. This Jack Dalton wasn't a normal guy. Seedy hotels need seedy women, and unless I can find a...
Jack?
Who is this?
Oh, come on, Jack. It's me. I'm waiting for you to come.
Look, lady, I don't know who you are or what you want, but...
Oh, honey. Wake up. It's time you...
Bingo. And now it all starts coming together. Mr. Dalton in the sleazy hotel with the bimbo. All I knew for certain was a man who could afford the best money could buy, had an affinity for seedy hotels and cheap women. When I called the number back, it was disconnected. I was gonna need a miracle. Fortunately, I knew a guy who could get those wholesale. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
John, what can I do for you today?
I've been hired for a missing persons case. This guy's been gone for about 3 days. I think he might be cruising the escort services. Got into a little bit of trouble. Do you know him?
Jack Dalton, richest man this side of town. Married with 3 kids, Kurt, Goldie, and Russell. They were here at Sunday service. Between you and me, Mr. Dalton admitted to adultery at his last confession.
What a shockster. It's his wife who hired me to find him. I got something else. Does that mean anything to you?
Nothing right now, but you know how the Lord works in mysterious ways. Give me a couple hours. I'll find out something for you.
You said he was in church on Sunday. Well, today's only Tuesday. His wife said she hadn't seen him in 3 days. Something about this doesn't add up.
Well, you said he was cruising for escorts. Why don't you go talk to Nancy? You know she runs all the brothels around here.
How do you know Nancy?
John, I'm a priest. This is a church. All the local sinners come here to absolve themselves of their sins.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Padre.
John, wait. Before you go, don't forget to leave your offering for the Holy Ghost on the way out.
Well, amen. Nancy. I hadn't seen her since I lost my badge. She was the type of woman that could put a man down on his knees with just a stare, beat the living hell out of him, and he would still come back begging for more. Don't get me wrong, she was all business. Honestly, I was scared to see her again. But if she had any information on my case, I was willing to beg for it.
It's about time you showed up, DeWitt.
Nancy. Well, how have you been?
John, I've been thinking about you lately.
Oh, have you now?
I knew you'd come walking through that door looking for little old Nancy. Do this, Nancy. Do that, Nancy.
Well, we did have some good times, didn't we? That's why I was scared to see her again.
I loved you. You no good for nothing.
Yeah, well, I guess the time wasn't right, was it?
What do you want? Jack Dalton. What about him?
Have you seen him?
He was here a few times last week. He's a regular. What did he do now?
Well, now he's gone missing.
You're barking up the wrong tree, John. My girls had nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
So what? He disappeared. So did you.
Wait, what did you mean by that?
You and Jack Dalton are the same.
He's straight off the path. There's a new obstacle.
Is there anything I can do?
Do you like martinis? Where are you going?
To get pretty. Apparently I have a date with Mr. DeWitt.
Get him back on track.
DeWitt.
Told you I'd find you first. I do hope that my money is paying off. Otherwise, I'll have to find someone else more fit for the job.
I'm glad you called. I do have some updates. Meet me in, say, half an hour.
Oh, but it's past my bedtime.
You called. Do you want something or not?
Indeed. As long as it's something strong.
I can manage that.
Maybe you aren't so difficult after all.
30 minutes then?
How optimistic, Mr. DeWitt. Meet me at the Amberjack. And don't disappoint me.
The Amberjack Seafood Company. A classy place for a classy lady. Now, if she buys me a drink before I deliver the bad news, that always increases the odds for some revenge lovin' coming my way. Doesn't work that way every time, but enough to give a man some hope.
It's late, Mr. DeWitt.
My apologies.
This had better be important. Have you got any news of my husband?
I'm sorry that I interrupted your beauty sleep, not that you need it.
Can I buy you a drink?
Jackpot. Jack. Neat.
Jack. Neat. For the ungentleman. Thank you. Well, what brings me out in the middle of the night?
Were you aware that your husband was having an affair?
I knew he was seeing someone on the side. Look, our relationship isn't perfect, you know. He's a very powerful man. And no good thing comes with all that power. Unfaithfulness is one of them. But I do love him. And he's the father of my 3 children.
Were you going to tell me about his infidelity?
Doesn't matter.
As a matter of fact, it does. See if you can follow me. Your husband steps out on you. You find out about it and don't like it. You decide to take matters into your own hands. Sounds like motive to me. You told me you hadn't seen him in 3 days. My sources say that you were in church with him on Sunday.
Now what? Are you writing a book, Mr. DeWitt? I lost track of time. So what? I expected more from you. And instead, I'm accused of my own husband's disappearance. Mr. DeWitt, I love my husband. So I suggest you do your job and find him.
Struck out with the lady. But the booze is always reliable. Spade. I never know how he finds me, but he is a man of many talents. You've heard about the 101st Airborne back during the war? Well, he was there. That business out in Roswell, there too. The fact is, he is so good at killing things or covering them up. He's been working for all the agencies with acronyms after this latest war turned cold. Why he wants to meet now? No clue. Maybe he can shed some light on this Dalton case. Spade.
John?
How have you been? It's been a while. You still at the Bureau?
No. CIA.
Oh, really? And to what do I owe this visit?
Jack Dalton.
Yeah, what about him?
John, this is way out of your league.
Yeah, how far out this time? That's absurd. He's a cheating spouse, and his wife hired me to find him.
You mean Mrs. Dalton?
Yeah.
Tell me, John, what is her first name?
She didn't happen to mention it. So how do you know her?
Meet Anna Sukov, codenamed Sue. She was a sniper for the Red Army during the war, one of the few who was promoted to junior lieutenant. She's a Russian spy, John.
That's absurd. She's as American as apple pie.
Why? Because her English is perfect? That's the way they're trained, John. You wouldn't know the difference.
So who is Jack Dalton then?
Oh, he's one of theirs. We think he might have gone AWOL, and that's why they're trying to find him. They're kind of worried that if he doesn't resurface, then he will be long gone.
Who's they?
She's working with another operative. We don't have an identity yet, but he goes by the code name Doc.
So why me?
You excel at this, John. You breathe and eat this life. But look at you. You're a mess. Who's going to report you missing? Who's even going to care? Why do you think she didn't go to the police? This goes way up the chain of command, John. If the agency knew that I was here right now talking to you, jeopardizing this operation, they would take both of us out. The moment you find Jack Dalton, that's the end of DeWitt. Leave no witnesses.
Look, I'm not buying this. See, I've got a guy that
Oh,
has
your
an
witnesses,
ass.
they've been paid off. It's amazing what people will do for a pinch of cash. Times are tough. Now, we've been one step ahead of you the whole time and another step behind, watching your back. But this is as far as we can go without raising suspicion. You're on your own here. You can walk away now, forget all about Jack Dalton, and let us handle this. Or you can risk everything, and that includes your life. John, I'm telling you as a friend, Walk away.
Where are you?
Spade is back.
Are you sure?
It's him. We should have taken him out when we had the chance.
That was not our call. But we may yet have another chance.
JD has surfaced?
Yes.
Where is he?
Doma. And he wants to speak to you.
Of course he does.
Motivate him. I'll be waiting at the water's end.
So, the Russians are behind Jack Dalton's disappearance. His wife is a KGB spy. Or Spade has finally flipped his lid and is a complete wacko. Call me crazy, but neither option is very comforting. Maybe a burger and a Coke can clear up some of this madness. Drive-in is a little busy tonight.
To a ship of the line from a 28-gun.
He is tagged with a right hand over.
After all, how could the Russians...
Came aboard this morning, taking himself in with a radish. No wonder. Promotion to a ship of the line from a 28-gun frigate. Well, quite a step. Oh, poor Butler. I don't suppose he'll ever live down being taken by those prisoners to sleep in his bed. I'm afraid he can't look for promotion. They may not be disciplined. If any of them. So he, you know, he's just simply be passed over. Like here, he really does. Really
She's a Russian spy.
Your order, Mr. DeWitt.
Hey, it's 45 cents.
Yeah, change.
Thanks.
Still might be, of course, if they don't give much weight to his...
Bon voyage, Effie.
I've been worried sick.
I cannot do this alone. You promised you'd help.
I am doing my best.
Is not enough.
I am trying.
This operation has been compromised. DeWitt knows too much.
Spade? Of course. Who else? He has become problem.
Help me.
Fine. Proceed. Operation Axelrod. Sue? Eliminate all.
What's she doing all the way on this side of town? I was sure she was up to no good.
Did you see JD? And?
It's open season. He wants us to move forward with Axelrod.
We have to move quickly. If we drag this out any longer, there could be consequences.
Where is he?
Exactly where he should be. What about DeWitt?
Oh, he's around. And curious as hell.
Good. This'll all be over soon. DeWitt will be eliminated, and you'll get your life back.
Will I? Does his elimination guarantee my survival? There's a connection to DeWitt that I can't deny.
How does that make you feel?
Conflicted, disgusted. But DeWitt captivates me.
Why?
He's free.
From what?
Expectation. Family, love, success, happiness.
We all live with expectations.
Or the absence of.
Explain.
What if happiness is the absence of expectation?
Perhaps. But don't expect to be happy if you're absent. Now, we've all got work to do. You take out the obstacles, and I'll take care of DeWitt. I've still got a few breadcrumbs to lay out for him. The giant has awoken. Francis Spade is persuasive, and he's smarter than I anticipated. He's all brains and no guts. Spade is on to us, and he's here to stop DeWitt. Don't let him.
Sue, how have you been?
Francis Spade. I should have killed you first time I had chance.
You can't win, Sue. Jack Dalton is long gone away from you and your commie friends. You'll never get him back. You're just going to have to kill all of us. And we know you're not a killer.
Father Wallace is a devil in disguise. Considering he dwells in such a peaceful and quiet place, he talks too much. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Ironic, isn't it? Make sure nothing ever comes out of his mouth anymore.
DeWitt? John? I have what you need. The number belongs to your client.
That doesn't make any sense. That was no housewife I was talking to.
Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe. Chapter 20, verse 29.
Yeah. Book it, John. All right, fine. I'll go check it out.
Be slow to judge, my son. May God be with you.
Thanks, Padre.
Father, are you all right? For their vine is from the vine of Sodom, and the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of poison, their clusters bitter. Their wine is the venom of serpents, and the deadly poison of cobras. Deuteronomy 32. Bet you didn't know that one. Now, you were given specific instructions on what to say if DeWitt came to you, and were handsomely rewarded. Let me remind you. Jack Dalton, outstanding member of the community, family man, was here on Sunday. And instead you had to add that he admitted to having an affair. Liar. Now, because of your actions, others will suffer as well. The Lord and I are very displeased with you. But I'm sure when you arrive at the pearly gates, you'll be able to explain everything to him. That is, of course, if you're headed that way. And we should find out here in just the next few seconds. A rat always gets poisoned.
Enzo Talbot. He's made a lucrative business through carnal desires, and in the process has destroyed many homes. He's fanned the flames of lust. Give him a taste of his own medicine.
This place used to be a refuge for my husband. A memory of better times. Love, health, and prosperity. It was beautiful. And then you came along.
And let's just say that things haven't been quite so wholesome since then. Now, I understand that you have a tattoo for every state that you've done time. Well, fortunately, you're not gonna need any more. But rehabilitation can be so demanding. I only drink the best. And I have a very strict policy about wasting good liquor. Can I pour you a drink? No? Well, how about a light? Oh, I see. I'm sure a gentleman wouldn't deny a lady the pleasure. Booze, smoke, women. You and my husband should be aware of the dangers of overindulgence. But unlike you, my husband would have already offered me a light. Allow me.
Nancy, a madam by trade. She's new in town and she enjoys her work. DeWitt has a history with her. Something tells me that he wants to take a stab at it. Get there before he does.
Excuse me, we're closing.
Nancy? Oh, I don't believe that we've ever met. You are Nancy, aren't you? Why, Mrs. Dalton. Mrs. Jack Dalton.
What do you want? I haven't seen him in a week. He isn't here.
Well, it just so happens that my husband Jack can't seem to get you out of his mind. Oh, what was it that he said? She drives me crazy.
I think you need to leave.
You drive him crazy. Yet when I look at you, I can't seem to think of a single good thing about you.
I said you need to leave.
No. I think it's time for you to leave.
Forget this. Let's go ahead and spring this trap. I decided to visit the Dalton home and see if they were actually spies. Or maybe communism was just a red herring.
Do you remember why you're doing this?
To get my life back.
Have the obstacles been removed?
Yes.
If we fail...
We will not fail. Operation Axelrod is almost complete. Everyone who has had any connection to DeWitt has been eliminated.
Good. When the setup is complete, DeWitt is on his way. We have to move quickly.
The clues will be carefully laid out before you. Just follow them. I'll be waiting for you at the water's end.
So they're probably trying to make Jack Dalton look like a nut. If he's not dead, he's probably locked up in some basement in some asylum no one has ever heard of off some lost island out in the bay. But I still don't get it. Why ask me to find him?
Jack.
Who are you? Why have you been following me? And what the hell is this?
I'm not who you think I am. I've been, let's say, guiding you. You're not John DeWitt, Private Eye. You are Jack Dalton.
What are you talking about? Where is Jack Dalton?
The clues are all there, Jack. They've been laid out before you.
Wake up.
You
and Jack Dalton are the same
person. Jack, you are 47 years old. You were born in 1976. Luna, the moon. Your wife's name is Sue Luna Dalton. She's 38 years old. There is no Eiffel Hotel, Jack. You've been to Paris many times. The Eiffel Tower represents love, the love you share with your wife. You don't like whiskey. You hate it. You don't smoke cigarettes. Your middle name is Winston. Jack Winston Dalton. The phone number, 774-3539. That's your wife's.
Jack.
Who is this?
Jack, it's me. I'm right here. Just tell me what you need.
Look, lady, I don't know who you are or what you want, but...
Jack, everything's gonna be fine.
Jack, there's no need for that. I'm not a threat. I'm your doctor. You fantasize with this world you've created. Booze, smokes, women, crime. And it takes your life over.
I'm not crazy!
You're not. This is your treatment.
Treatment?
John DeWitt, Private Eye, is a personality you manifested. And he takes over.
Jack, I watch you day and night mumbling to yourself and to people that aren't there, that it's tearing us apart.
You're seeing things that aren't there. There are no Russian spies, no conspiracies. We've been over this many times before. The photo, Jack. Take the photo out of your jacket. Look at it. Look at the photo.
Jack Dalton.
Jack Dalton.
His name's Jack Dalton.
Tell me why he looks so familiar.
That's you, Jack Dalton.
She killed Spade, Enzo, Nancy, even Father Wallace.
Killed? How?
I saw them. She killed everyone.
Jack, what are you talking about? We've been here in this room the whole time. I never left your side. What do you mean, me?
No one was killed, Jack. They were simply removed.
She did it.
Jack, that was not her. It was you. It was all you. You've twisted all the details of your life, everything that I have given you, to fit into DeWitt's world. It's all in your mind. No one else is involved. It's just you. You are everyone, and you are in control. He's driving the boat. Where are you?
Spade is back.
Are you sure?
It's him. We should have taken him out when we had the chance.
That was not our call. But we may yet have another chance.
JD has surfaced?
Yes, and he wants to speak to you.
JD, do you remember when I said I couldn't do this on my own?
I cannot do this alone.
You promised you'd help.
You promised you'd help me.
Doing my best.
It's not enough.
I'm trying.
Session's been compromised. DeWitt knows too much.
Spade? Of course it is. This guy's become a real problem.
Help me.
Let's do what Dr. Axelrod said. Eliminate them all. Sue? I love you, sweetheart.
That's why we've been doing this over and over again.
DeWitt needs a case. Find him. Make sure he accepts.
He and I are the same. He'll have no choice.
Soon this will all be over. DeWitt will be eliminated, and you'll get your life back.
Will I? Does his elimination guarantee my survival? There's a connection to him I cannot deny.
Have you been listening? The clues have been laid out for you to find yourself. I'll be waiting for you at the water's end. Be who you are, Jack.
John DeWitt is no more. It's just us, you and me.
The moment you find Jack Dalton, that's the end of DeWitt.
Nah. Y'all are both in this together. Now I'm gonna give you to the count of 3 to tell me where's Jack Dalton.
It's time to come back. Counting backwards.
Just a damn nutcase, Johnny.
3.
They're lying to you, John.
John, beware of false prophets who come in sheep's clothing, but inwardly
2
are ravenous wolves.
Please wake up.
1.
I loved you.
Time's up.
You are Jack Dalton.
I love my husband. Help me. Jack.
Who are you?
I'm Jack Dalton.
Who am I?
You're Dr. Axelrod.
Where are you?
I'm home. So did it work this time, Doc?
What do you remember?
Doctor, can we please just give him a minute? This has been his longest session yet.
Hey.
Hi. How you feel?
I'm okay. Drained. A little fuzzier than normal. How long was I under?
About 8 hours?
What?
Yeah, he had to give you 2 more just to keep you down.
Thanks for staying. You know you don't have to be here for this.
Oh, now that's funny coming from you. Be honest, babe. Would you have ever left my side when I was going through chemo? Yeah. I didn't think so.
Do you remember anything, Jack?
Some things I can remember clearly, and other things I can't form a memory. Look, Doc, what did we accomplish in the last 8 hours?
We found a way in. You discovered an ability to interact and alter the narrative. We have never been able to accomplish that in previous sessions.
So that's good.
It's a step in the right direction. But honestly, in my experience, I have never encountered a persona as dominant and elusive as DeWitt. It's fascinating. As is your mind. You were creating others to populate DeWitt's world, and one after another they became standard in each one of your episodes. Nancy, for example. Does the name Nancy mean anything to you? A childhood friend or a high school sweetheart?
No. Who's Nancy?
He doesn't remember them this time.
Okay, so what does that mean?
The theory is that if we remove something from DeWitt's world, it erases it from your subconscious. There is one thing that continues to vex me, however, and that is, what is the catalyst for these episodes to occur? It's likely that whatever triggers DeWitt is acting like an anchor that can't be eliminated until it is identified and removed.
Okay, so something started this. We just need to figure out what and get rid of it.
Yes, but it could be anything. An object, a moment, a memory. Listen, we've done some good work here today, but we need to be honest with ourselves. Jack may never get better. This may be as good as it gets. So the question is, how much longer can the two of you keep doing this?
All right, your car or mine?
Let's take Candy.
Yeah, let's take Candy.
How about you drive? Do you remember this place?
You know I do.
I was so nervous, I thought you would say no.
Well, I almost did. You took so long to ask. Hey. That was a perfect day.
I'm gonna miss this place.
Miss it? Now why would you ever have to?
Because this is where it always begins. Every episode that I have, it starts here. I'm DeWitt, and I'm approached by a woman who, she's looking for someone. The details always change, but she's the one that initiates the case. And it's always the same woman.
Well, who is she? Do you recognize her?
Oh, yes. It's you, sweetheart. You are the memory that is left with me in the end.
Oh, it's me?
I'm sorry.
I started this? What did I do? I don't understand. If you can't separate your memories from DeWitt, then how can you separate me from her? You can't.
No.
Why, Jack? Am I just not enough? I've given you everything. Why is our life not enough for you? Tell me, Jack. Explain. Tell me why our life is not enough. So what do we do now?
I need to be DeWitt.
No! Jack, we have been through this so many times already.
I need to be DeWitt.
You have gotten us both entwined in DeWitt's world. Sweetie, there's nothing more for you there. Right? Right, baby? There's nothing more.
There won't be. My name's Jack Dalton. I'm a husband, father, and one personality too many. Something has to go. But you didn't guess this. Axelrod says that if I eliminate the memory triggers, then I can be free. But then I forget Sue. Maybe Axelrod is wrong. And wouldn't that be swell?
Can you hear me out there? All expectations for heavy rainfall and flooding fell short of earlier reported estimates. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm just the guy who reports it, you know what I mean? So sunrise is in about an hour and 15 minutes, but I'll be signing off prior to that. Just sit back and relax. I'll be here till the end. This next song goes out to my good friend Jack Dalton.